All right, bong bong. What's good, everybody? I guess today's a little bit different than what we all might be used to. Let me see here. Today, you actually have myself as the main Bodycast host, and with me, we have one of the best battlers in Canada.
Hey.
This guy right here. Introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Peppe from Toronto here. Happy to be on the show with my friend Path over here, and excited to talk about some fun stuff, So,
We're going to talk about a lot of shit when it comes to your social media stuff. Plug that as well, because normally what Cope would do at this point is he would say, we're going to put all of your tags in the footnotes.
right.
But I have no clue how to fucking do that. So,
okay. But yeah, guys, on Instagram, follow me at Staying Home Tonight. Even though I'm out quite often, and then on Facebook it's just Joe Pep, PEP Pep, and then Twitter's Pepe the Kid. Man, sticking with my roots on that Twitter handle there. So hasn't changed much,
Old school style. Well, with that being said, welcome to the Bodycast, the official podcast for the subreddit r/rap battles.
Beautiful.
r/rap battles is, of course, the largest online forum for the international culture of battle rap. Find us on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and on the official Discord server in the link below. The only place for fans to go for battle rap news from around the globe. And when it comes to the people that watch the show, the one thing that it's very obvious from the start, you have a high IQ, not just about battle rap, but period. You're just overall a very intelligent person. You're very good looking. I mean, one would even say that you're at the peak of human existence in a weird way. So welcome again, as always, to the Bodycast. And of course, to make it the most normal that we can, I told Pepe to grab something to drink because we have a little ritual with the podcast. And he said, dude, this is weird. And I said, man, you got to do it because we have the community cheers. So
cheers.
Shout out to everyone. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to say this is a little bit of a disgusting insight, but this is not a cup full of water. I'm sure lots of people have those cups that they hold their toothbrush in. And I had to go clean that up really quick and fill it with water and pretend to take a drink out of it because I forgot to do that. But anywho, what we're here to talk about, normally we focus on a lot of different things from all over the place, whether that is the UK, whether that is Nigeria, even sometimes in the States, because that is sort of the mecca. But today we're going to primarily focus on here in Canada, here in Toronto.
Yeah.
And not here where I am, but here in Toronto as a whole in the country. Because
honorary Beastmode Toronto vet. You made the Hall of Fame, buddy. Shortest amount of time for a tenure, but you made it, buddy.
Hey, sometimes you just end up getting real lucky. That's what it is.
Oh, buddy, my whole career, buddy.
With that being said, we did have an amazing event just last weekend.
Yeah.
And that was the Breakthrough. And there is a VOD up for that right now. And I, again, don't know how to do it, but I'm sure Nathan or Cope will help me out and put that in the description so that people can check that out. Cope is looking a little bit different there. He, a lot handsomer.
There you go.
It's just one of those things. This is what happens. Last week it was just Cope with his guest because I had a very, very important tattoo appointment that I could not miss.
Right.
This week it is just me with my guest because Cope is getting married.
Well, he got married, right? Didn't he get married?
Yeah, he got married. I think that was last night. Not really a great excuse. I'm not going to lie.
Honestly, like I said this morning, during our message exchange, you get married once and all of a sudden you're just too much of a celebrity for your own show.
Yeah.
So it's it's unnecessary to have such an ego, right? And Cope, congratulations, but unfortunately, it doesn't make up for your loss here today.
Okay? Yeah, come back down to earth, Cope.
Really. The honeymoon phase can start after the show, buddy.
Easy peasy. Congratulations and all, but
we've had enough here. It might be Peppe and Pathogenic going forward after this.
We might have to do that. Yeah, you've now been inducted into the Bodycast Hall of Fame, the shortest tenure yet.
But there you go. It's come full circle, right? So until Cope to cope with that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. With that being said, though, tell me a little bit about the breakthrough. It was a huge 2-day event, really one of the biggest for Beast Mode that I've seen.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it kind of just snowballed, right? Like, so we wanted to put together something. Really, I think really what happened was we kind of just wanted to get my Saga battle out of the way, right? So this is kind of how I think like I don't have the I don't have the thinking of Joey and Wheezy but we wanted to throw something dope. We also just wanted to get my Saga battle out of the way. So we came together. We had some ideas down. We kind of had a budget, an original budget, a little bit of, and then that obviously snowballed into something greater and greater and greater as well with sponsors. But so we booked this card. We're starting to kind of book this card, based around me and Saga. We get a couple good battles there. We got Emerson Kennedy. I remember booking Emerson Kennedy right away because Apex, shout out to him, has been on a Beast Mode tear for like 3, 4, 5 years maybe now, right? And it's like we have to get him plates to show everyone that this kid is amazing, right? And and same with A1. I think we got A1 and Loose Cypher booked right away. Didn't happen, but something off the top that was like 2 matchups that we really want to do on the card, and so the only reason it ever became a 2-day event was because Saga said he couldn't make Saturday anymore. Well, this whole event's really Saga's fault. He didn't get money to us, but it's all his fault. And so it kind of just snowballed into this really, really big card and something we want to, put on for Toronto. And I think, obviously, shout out to Organic and Gully with the border restrictions kind of tearing the Canadian battle rap scene apart for the past X amount of years now. We haven't really seen an event or battle rap in Toronto and Canada consistently throughout that time. And so we just wanted to put something together now with the, a little bit of easing up at the borders that would attract some more fans and get everyone excited. And I think, there was that. And also the fact that we want to show that our local guys can compete, right? We want to show that, our top 5 Beast Mode guys can hang with some of the best on Smack or in North America or in battle rap. Right. And I think going forward, it was such a successful event path. It was, it was great. I think got everybody's morale up. And one thing we've been preaching as a staff is we want people to understand the bigger picture. We want people to buy into that just because if it's not your turn right now to get a big battle, it's going to be your turn soon, and it's someone who really, really, really did well at breakthrough in my mind. And I think to everybody else was dysfunctional. Someone who, it's for him, it's always the pen's been there. That's fine. It's just the performance, right? Was always kind of like, his pen's great, but he has to get to that next level. And I think when we booked him versus Red Flag, 2 things happened. 1, he really started to believe in himself. And 2, he knew he really had to showcase that he could get there and hang with some of the better talents, right? And dude, that I don't think I've ever been so forget my battle, forget Joey, forget everybody else. Everyone did great, but I was just so happy with Dysfunctional, man. And I don't think I even told him how happy I am, but I think staff and everybody in the league was like, this is amazing. This is phenomenal. And so the event was great for, those 2 reasons. It's like we had we had a great event for Canada and we had a great event for our own guys to start believing in themselves at a higher level.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the best part, being a promoter, somebody who's helping push talent forward, is knowing what they have that other people might not see.
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee you a lot of people looked at that and went, Red Flag versus Dysfunctional.
I don't know, right? Yeah, right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It turned out to be one of the best battles. In fact, I mean, a lot of people said it was Battle of the Night.
I think that was Battle of the Night, hands down. I think it was a great time at the night. One thing I'll never do again is battle at the end of a 2-day event, right? Everyone's tired, the crowd, whatever. It still had a great battle with Saga, but that I think Dysfunctional, Red Flag had peak everything. They both had great performances individually, fantastic performances, and they had a really hungry crowd who was excited to see them.
Yeah. Would you say that by the end of day 2 that there wasn't a lot of pep in their step in the crowd there?
Well, there was for a reaction. There was. It seemed right.
How weird that happened.
Weird, right? Always, you can always bet on that. But I think everyone just it was just you're worn out, right? I think going into the event, I was telling my girlfriend because I was running around like a madman, right? I checked the scale the Friday morning before I went to go pick people up for, I was 202 pounds, something like that. I got back from the event The next morning, went on the scale, I was 196. And it's like I'm just sweating out like stuff. You know what I mean? Like not even running around making sure everybody's good, but yeah. So it was definitely a lot. It was a lot. It was successful, but it was a lot. You know.
You heard it here first, folks. If you want to lose weight, the quickest way to do so is actually run a 2-day battle event with lots of high-end talent.
Book a thousands of dollar card, and then run around and book people's hotels and flights, and you guys just go get them, and you will die. But it'll be a great experience. Great experience.
That's the best way to do it at the end of the day.
Peppe formula, you know. Forget Jenny Craig, get the Peppe. You know.
So with that being said, when it comes to pushing that talent again forwards, because one of the really cool things that I noticed as well when it came to this event was that there were a lot of both new guys and not even necessarily new guys, but new guys to Beast Mode, maybe that have been on other leagues that are coming over, as well as return of old Beast Mode vets that were previously a part of things that came back. And so moving forwards, where does the talent development stage go? Is there going to be more smaller cards in between this now? Is there going to be another big card where maybe they'll have the chance to open up? Kind of what is the plan for that?
So I think we're hoping to do, we have an event in August that is going to be, you know, a mix of the newer talents and, you know, I think having older generation Beast Mode guys return was great for us. And I think, you know, some of them, you know, aren't there yet as far as like being able to battle a top guy, but just to get back in the mix. And hold on, I just see his comment. Shout out to Sean. You know, Sean Sirianni. Without him, there'd be no Beast Mode right now. You know what I mean? Like his ability to just film 137 battles in an event and then like edit it a week is like absolutely insane. And you know, people who run the media for events, whether it's cameramen or photographers or who do any content creation, just go so. We could never pay them enough.
Yeah.
You know, so Sean, charge everybody more. Not me, but charge everybody else more. But yes, so we want to do another event. We're going to do an event in August. The card's going to come out in a couple days where it's going to be some debuts, some people who can get better and some solid matchups. And I think what we're going to do going forward, if, you know, I just got to clear with Wheezy and Joey often, but is we want to kind of do a mix of new talent and then maybe a couple good solid battles at the top. Just so, you know, with new talent, the scare is that you're going to book a card and then no one really pans out from that card.
Yeah.
Right. Which isn't like terrible because you got to take your chances, right? You have to experiment. Yeah. But we just want to have that balance there where, you know, we know we're going to have four consistent guys on the card and the rest will be, let's just see what happens. Maybe we'll find the next Pathogenic in Toronto, right? You just kind of want to just see what happens. And I think we're going to have a couple events like that because to be honest with you, Pat, you can't throw a $20,000, $30,000 card every two months.
No.
Right? You kind of have to bridge the gap a little bit with the lower cards and be able to build your league and create some foundation there. So we're definitely going to see a couple smaller events, but with that said, we are looking to throw another pretty solid event in October.
Fantastic.
And I believe we're going to drop an announcement for that this week as well. I think maybe shortly after the August card.
Cool. Really capitalizing on the momentum going forward. That's what I like to see.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it was funny that Sean commented because I was going to talk about him as well, because when it comes to Beast Mode itself, different than a lot of leagues, you guys have your own identity and it's very blatant because it's everything from make some noise. Normally you just see the crowd react. No, we're all saying Beast Mode.
Yeah.
You have the identity of the belt that you guys have had forever, and that sort of symbolizes the league itself. And on top of that, even the camera work that Sean does is very Beast Mode. When I watch a Beast Mode battle and I see Sean doing what he does, that is Beast Mode to me.
Yeah.
And so do you guys feel that in the room as well? When you're all together, does it just feel different than if it's, you know, if you go visit another event or if you go to another event somewhere else?
I think something that's always been very apparent since I've started, I think I debuted in like 2014 Path. Very, very family-esque, right? Very family feel. And you know what? And to say that's a novelty, I don't think it's a novel. I think a lot of small leagues do have that family feel. I think just with so much history and, you know, X amount of years of the same guys being together, I think that we've really made like a home feel.
Yeah.
And I was talking to some of the American guys about this, you know, when we were driving downtown Toronto, kind of going for food or whatever. I go, Battlerap is almost like a foster home, right? Where like each league is almost like a foster home. Where, not saying everybody doesn't have their own great stuff going on in life, but you have so many people from so many different walks of life come together for this commonality, and it's like it really is amazing. And you see people that maybe wouldn't interact outside of that have a great bond because of that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think Beastmode amplifies that really, really well. And I think the fact that we've been able to build momentum recently on a really high level, I feel like, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. It's only made the relationship stronger amongst the roster, where we want to kind of push and continue to create that kind of vibe going forward. But yeah, I do think it's kind of our own little world, right? I do. And I also, as much as I love for people to branch out and make sure they can go travel to other leagues and get that experience. I want them to remember that we're their home league, and we're going to try to take care of them as best as they can, or as we can, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a vibe. Beastmode is definitely its own culture. And, you know, shout out to Sean, who's really made an impact. I think as soon as he kind of joined, I think the first year he was there, we shot me versus Joey and did the room battles. And
Yes.
you know, Woody Smitty was part of that. But Sean, I think me and Joey did so well because the way Sean filmed it and edited it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that precedent's been set by him, and I've been a blessing to work with him, right? Easy to work with. And that's something you look for in anybody on a team, anybody, staff, roster, battlers. It's like, you know, we've all been around people who aren't great to work with, and you don't really want back in the scene. And it's like you get one headache from them, and you do like, okay, there's a reason this guy hasn't panned out on 7 different platforms. I wonder why, you know, what the thing is here, right? But it's a pattern. But you know, don't let a bad couple apples ruin the bunch. And I realize, you know, Sean's been such a blessing to work with, man. Anybody who needs freelance work, call my friend Sean Sirianni. He will get it all done for you properly and professionally, and with a great attitude and smile too.
Definitely. And check out his podcast, The Creative Imbalance, because he's really putting in work, and he streams on Twitch, I think. Like, he's got fingers in all the pies.
Oh, yeah. Endless amount of content and some great guests too. You know, some great highlighted guests. So yeah,
fantastic.
So we definitely got our own vibe at Beastmode. Yeah.
When it comes to that own culture, this is something that I really wanted to talk about because it's been everywhere since the VOD came out, and as well as a couple of the people that were retweeting it. But we got to talk about the slap battles.
Yeah.
Because for people that don't know, when it comes to watching a battle, there's a lot of things. I mean, we've had Joey and Riz on before, and they talked a little bit about the slap battles and, you know, the other conditions that have been put on judged battles that you guys have done, shaving heads, slap with a fish, all of that weird, awesome stuff that we love to see. But when you are always around it, it becomes something that's just normal. That's when I heard that the slap chain was on the line in the Santo and BL match. I wasn't shocked by it. But it was shocking to see everyone's response to it on Twitter when it got put out there and people got to actually see what it was, because it's just not something they're used to. So talk a little bit about that battle itself, because I don't think the chain was supposed to be on the line originally.
No, from my understanding. So I missed that face off. So it was BL and Santo. I missed the face. I was going to pick up Dre Dennis. So I was away from the event for a bit. But so when I got back, I heard that, you know, Santo and BL is now a slap match with a slap chain. And I believe that BL challenged him to put it up, or like he put his own chain on the line. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what happened. And Santo, being Santo, who's just this hilariously like super confident, you know, and you know what, he's doing great, you know. So I don't, he's our slap chain, he's our champ now. I gotta put him on pedestal, but he took the challenge. Obviously, he said, "I'll slap you tomorrow" or something. Like, it all worked out. So that title went on the line. The battle was pretty solid. You know, it was a good battle. I think it could go. I thought in the building it could have went either way. I don't even, you know, and I think the replay will be good too.
Yep.
And so, like you said, I think to us these slap chain battles have been so normalized for Beast Mode folks that like literally anybody else who saw it was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? I remember A-Ward's dad texted A-Ward being like, "Yo, you have a battle this weekend, like RBE. Like, is it a slap battle too?" And then they were no, like, I'm good, you know, like I'm good. But yeah, so the Americans loved it, and it was so funny because Wheezy. So we were running a little bit behind the event, and Wheezy goes, "Pep, wait for the Americans to come down for the slap chain, the slap battle. Wait for them to come down." So I'm texting Ward. I'm like, yo, are you guys like leaving yet? He's like, yeah, we'll be there in 20 minutes, which is Battlerap time. So they almost show up the next day, right?
Yeah.
And so we show up, we wait for them, we make them judges, which I think was a very smart move on Wheezy and Joey's part, right? And it got them involved. And I think like either Saga's video went viral or someone's video went viral from that, group, from that group of guys that judged. And it just hit Twitter like crazy, right? And DNA's Tooth put a blog out on it. And it's hilarious,
Yeah.
And the reactions have been like, this is hilarious to this is even battle rapping. This is crazy,
You've gotten both extremes on it. Even
you got the whole spectrum covered, right? And which is great because it got out there, right? Which is great. But it's just something that I want anybody watching this and to know that both those guys are fine. They're happy to do it, and we've never had like a bad slap chain battle where someone gets a little rattled or irritated. It's always been a very controlled environment, and it's been something that's been going on in Beast Mode probably before I was even around. I think I've been around since 2014. It was probably started like 2006 or 8, whatever it started. Because I believe Beast Mode and King of the Dots started like around the same time.
Yeah,
so it's probably been a tradition that's carried way before Peppe was there.
Yeah, and it's one of those funny things too, because seeing how people have responded to it, it's very interesting to me because I've had tons of people that have asked me, "Don't you get upset with what people say to you?"
Right.
And I go, "No, not really. This is Battlerap. It's what I signed up for. It'd be like signing up for a boxing match and being upset that you got punched in the face, right? Like it just doesn't make sense."
Right.
And so when it comes to the slap battles, it's something that's agreed on beforehand. So you can't be upset that you're the one that got slapped.
100%. 100%.
It's just one of those things.
It's one of those things. Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is just you're hitting someone, right? That's why everyone's kind of like, oh, but always had everybody's done the slap battles, always had really good respect for each other. Even when it was the fish battle or the haircut battle, it was always a very, very, very jokes vibe. So I'm happy hey, we have a champion, he has a chain, and it's gonna keep happening. So settle up, and hopefully we get some more viral moments out of that. And hopefully Averb tweets all our battles and not just
Yeah, if everybody hasn't blocked him by that point.
Exactly. Yeah. So only time will tell.
I guess so. Whoomp wants to know how hard are the slaps.
They're pretty hard, man. Like that was a pretty solid one, And I think it was really funny because Realistic, before the slap went off, he's like, "Have you ever slapped somebody before?" And then everyone started laughing. But it looked like Santo has. So Womp, the slaps are pretty hard. So
Yeah. Oh, it was definitely something that was pretty awesome to watch.
Yeah,
it was super cool to see. So tell me a little bit about being a battler and being a promoter and somebody who's trying to set up both. You touched on it a little bit about how you don't want to battle at the end of day 2 again for an event that you've set up.
Yeah.
So tell me what it's like in the mind of Peppe while this is happening. Do you get any point in time to enjoy it? Are you sitting there at the end of day 1 going, "That was fucking awesome. Great job, everyone"? Or are you like, "Holy fuck, one more day of this to go"?
Well, you know what? It was a little bit of both, right? Like, I think I was excited the whole time. There was definitely some hiccups here and there, and things I would definitely some learning lessons for me, But yeah, Path. The whole time was great. It was a good time. Like I said, like I wouldn't battle again on day 2. I think going forward, just because I am have to run it with Joey and Wheezy, who have been a great team to work with. We've done everything. I haven't done anything without them. They haven't done anything without me. Joey hasn't done anything with both. You know what I mean? So we've all been working collaboratively to make stuff like that happen. Mm-hmm. So it was great working with them for this event. But as a battler and I think if I'm ever battling, if Joey's ever battling, I think we'll do day 1.
Yeah.
And then day 2, we can kind of just focus on everything, right? Because it's just a lot to go pick up people. Then you got to go home and prep. Then you got to get down to the venue early. Then you got to make sure everything looks okay, Yep. And I swear, like, because battle day could be so weird, right? Like you could have a panic attack because like your shirt didn't like come out of the wash at the proper time. You know what I mean? It's something that happened to me. I left my shirt in the wash. It's like, oh, this is the one I want to wear. Like now I got to redo it like in my whole wardrobe for this battle.
Now I got to rewrite my third.
Yeah, like what? And yeah. So any this Peppe tips? Pause. Don't battle on day 2 of an event that you're hosting because your voice is gone. you know, whatever. But yeah, so it was a little nerve wracking. I think the biggest thing for me was not actually being at the event. I think that was amazing. And like I said, I wouldn't like, you know, Apex and Emerson Kennedy have a great battle.
Yeah.
Freaking best feeling in the world. And I'm sure Joey and Weezy feel the same way. You know, Diz and Red Flag, A1 and Steve, and, you know, all these other guys having great performances because there wasn't really a bad battle like the whole weekend, which is phenomenal. And that's something like, that's why we do it, especially with the American guys coming down. It's like, yo, we did so well. It made everything worth it. Franchise and grid, to me, I remember that battle happened. And I'm like, this made everything worth it.
Yeah.
You know, this made everything worth it. So the biggest thing for me wasn't the actual event. It was the logistics of the event. So we have, you know, we have to get rides for all these guys, right? And we have to get them to the airport, to the whole, whatever it was, right? And the funny thing was I think A-Ward had the most stressful week because he was in Toronto for like 3 days after his original flight was supposed to leave.
Yeah.
Toronto's been such a nightmare right now for flying in and out of. And so shout out to A-Ward. He killed it. Always great to work with. But yeah, it was worth it, man. I think, like I said, I'm not battling on day 2, bottom of the day again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're just getting it done early. But, you know, I'm thankful for Joey and Weezy for keeping my head on straight and keeping me calm, you know? So
the team is important, especially when it comes to moving forwards. And,
100%.
And doing all that kind of stuff. Now, 100%. You also said that you didn't want to do it because your voice is gone. So here's a really important question that I have to ask.
Yeah.
What is the secret to Poe Rich being able to yell at the decibel level of a microphone for the entire battle?
For that question, we might have to go to A-Ward, Sug, and the rest of the horsemen and just see what God's opinion is on that, right? It's amazing. And the thing that, because I missed the face-offs on day 1, he was yelling in the face-off. So it's like, you're just God-gifted. I battled Poe Rich, okay, in 2017 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was the first time where I learned you just have to be so poised.
Yeah.
He's just yelling at you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, this is insane. And the best thing is you're saying some shit to him and he doesn't care. You just look at him and he just doesn't care, you know? But he is like inside. And it looked the battle in real life, obviously Poe Rich and Tipsy, like Tipsy was good. Tipsy was solid. Tipsy was great. Poe Rich was wild all 3 rounds. He started the Beastmode chant back in the day. Because Poe Rich has been at Beastmode since 1997, right? But he's just insane, man. Like, he was so loud, you know. Tipsy was great too, and it's like it just gets like you have this really good, you know. Tipsy's a great rapper. He's rapping so smooth, effortless. He's very effortless, right?
Yeah.
And then Poe Rich is like a theatric performer that should be on like some stage somewhere in New York, like doing something crazy. You know,
the evangelical preacher of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
He's Broadway all day, right? Like, and it's like you just have to ask God, like, why did he get blessed with such great vocal
projection?
Yeah,
it's nuts, and you can see it on the VOD too when you're watching it. It almost feels like he's yelling at you from the other room.
Oh man,
he's
so good, man. And I would love to see him back in some capacity on like a major platform, whether it's GTX or King of the Dot. I think there's still some really hilarious matches that he could be part of.
Yeah.
You know, and just someone with that much presence and charisma, and you know, the ability to go through everything unfazed is such a top tier qualities to have. You know, and a performer. So shout out to Poe Rich. I always love working with Poe. You know, it was. I know for me watching him versus Illusion Z back in the day, and he said some shit like I was LCBO Employee of the Month, and I don't even work there. You know, and then battling him and then having him for Beast Mode is amazing. So
he took a shot at me, so it's fuck Poe. But at the same time, shout out Poe.
You guys got a storyline brewing, so I mean, you know, it's only fair, right?
Nothing wrong with that at all.
You got a lot of strays though, actually. That the other event, I think.
It was to be expected. I kind of anticipated. I mean, Steve had said that he was going to say something about me on Twitter, like
right,
a little while before that, so it was kind of to be expected. But
I gotta start working some path. I gotta start dissing you in like every battle going forward, man. Like,
just talk about the train, man. Easy enough.
Oh my goodness.
I won't even see it coming, just like the train.
Let's go.
So with that being said, which has been kind of my transition word here. With that being said, anywho, bringing over important battlers into Canada, which is an absolute nightmare right now.
Yeah.
Tell me what that's like. Obviously, there was a couple of hiccups, but when it comes to the travel and having battlers come in for the event, was it a big issue? To kind of tell me what that was like.
So, the biggest thing I think the problem we ran into was vetting a lot of guys who aren't vaccinated, and I think that was the biggest issue we had. And I think it's still even Gannick's like biggest problem too, trying to book a great Canadian card. Is like a lot of these guys just for whatever reason, right? They don't have the vaccine,
Yep.
which is fine.
Yep.
So it was just like, oh, like you're a great battler. Oh, great price. Okay. Oh, you're down to, okay, you're free that weekend. Awesome. Are you? Oh, you can't enter Canada right now. Like, so sorry, man. And that happened to A, B, C, D, E. Like we could go through an alphabet of battlers, and that was kind of the case. And not saying that we had left with bad choices. We had a phenomenal roster of guys come down. But I think that was kind of the toughest thing, right? And that was something we faced. As far as getting them into Canada, I was very lucky. Very, very lucky. I was very scared that customs would be like a dragged out situation for a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
And I think that XQZ had it the worst, and he had to stay like just maybe like an hour or so, just over an hour and a half at the customs line. But everybody else, like, thankfully got out pretty smoothly.
Yeah.
That was okay.
I mean, it's understandable because XQZ is not the kind of guy to trust, right?
No, right? Like I don't trust that guy.
He's a dangerous looking dude.
If there's a situation at an airport, it's XQZ.
Oh, 100%.
100%. You can't trust Steve from Chicago.
No.
It's just not a thing. That should be like a no-fly zone. Like
that's written down somewhere.
Steve from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So he got hit the worst with it, and then A Ward leaving, right? Like I said, was the double whammy for him. The back-to-back days of not flying out, and he had Reed Dollars yesterday, so he was stuck in Toronto for like 3 days, just in the hotel room writing and doing whatever a great battler like A Ward does, and still got the job done. But yeah, so event went smoothly as far as into Canada and out to Canada, except for my man A Ward, but great guys.
Hey, God is good all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the four horsemen there, obviously A Ward's been on Beastmode before. He was crazy against Apex.
Yes,
he was crazy against Joey, and now you have Saga as well that's coming over. And talk about your battle, go through your battle, kind of give the Cole's notes without giving away too much so that people still, want to go check out the VOD, obviously. But tell a little bit about the battle itself and how that went.
Yeah, so something that was booked, obviously, pre-pandemic. And I think, it happy to be over with. It was good, very good experience for me. Coming off, I think my last real Beast Mode battle was against Shoddy P. I had the Disciple one in between, but that wasn't like a top roster or top quality opponent. No offense to Disciple, it just wasn't that, right?
Yep.
And so I was kind of looking to keep my momentum going on my home league. Saga, great talent as well. Got him down here finally. Battle was really solid. I think first round I was looking for more reaction. I could say that like very honestly. I was looking for some more reaction. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, do you think that was because of the fact that you're on the bottom end of day 2? That maybe they just were too tired?
I think part of that, right? Maybe, maybe I was rapping too fast too. Looking back,
watching the VOD, it was obvious that the crowd wasn't reacting, but I was reacting watching it. I'm watching it going, man, that's cool. People aren't reacting to that. Why not?
Right. Yeah. And so I think, the first round was kind of like maybe it's not going to be what I thought it was going to be. He raps, he's fine. Vet, he's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like I was getting blown out the water. It wasn't like he was destroying, you know what I mean? So it was fine. And then the second and third, I felt great. So second and third, I think I really turned up in the second round. I think I had some really, really crazy material as far as like punchlines go, and just really something like I feel like I've always been a really good puncher, and I've been able to really like execute my writing a lot better now, more than ever. I think I'm really coming with some really high quality stuff, like the the Witch Trial, the Zip File stuff, and do that consistently. Like I know what I'm doing now, right?
Yes.
And he was great. Second round, great as well. He did a great job. I think with Saga, he just sold a lot of these URL guys, a lot of these main stage guys, a lot, whether whatever platform they are from. They're they're top tier for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? They're just so polished.
Yeah. It's almost obvious when you watch it. You can see it in a video that they're a professional.
Yeah, absolutely. Like franchise always says, well, he's rapping, I'm a professional now.
Yes.
And it's like, yo, I get it. Like, I totally get it. And I think like you learn stuff, right? So I think taking away from that, it's like, I have to learn to be that confident and not let anything phase me while I'm rapping.
Yeah.
Right. Where I'm usually very good at that. I
Yeah.
think it was just maybe with the event being taught, whatever. After my first, I was a little aggravated, right? Being like, okay, this is, maybe this isn't going to go my way. But in the end, it all worked out. I think I did really good. My second and third were phenomenal to me. And yeah, he had a really good third. He had a Peppe in your step bar, which shut the building down, which often happens, right? So it was like, I saw it, I saw where he was going with the rhyme pattern. I was like, my guy. But yeah, it was great. I thought it was a really good battle. I think I did what I had to do. And I think my biggest thing is just proving I can hang with these guys, right? Like, I've been doing this for X amount of years now. It's like, I just want to be able to show that I can hang. So I think Shoddy P, him, and hopefully my next one, it'll all be, Pepe's, he's here to stay. There's a reason he's doing what he's doing, and he can do it at that level. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, Saga was great, man. Saga has been nothing but like class the whole time. And he, like, just the poise, and he's always willing to give advice, and great. Like, I suggest Saga and everybody who showed up this weekend from the US, and even some of our own talents like Paul Rich, to any league looking to book higher quality talent, because they've been phenomenal. And even Emerson Kennedy was phenomenal, like amazing.
Absolutely spectacular performance on his part.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Did you like me and Saga? Me and Saga was okay.
I really enjoyed you and Saga. I thought that the thing about the VOD was that there wasn't a bad battle. I watched all of them.
Right. Yeah.
And every once in a while, when I watch a VOD, maybe the first couple battles,
like
I'll watch the first round and a half of both guys, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch a couple other ones.
Yeah, we have a couple guys on the roster now who are maybe not on the roster, but they've been a beast mode a couple times now, like Owens Beard, and like even John Doe. Mac is another solid battler. I battled him in PY back in the day. He's been a beast mode guy. He's battled, people like Grid. I think he's battled pretty much everybody on the beast mode roster. Jo, like all the top quality guys we have, and so that he's a great guy to come back. And John Doe is another beast mode vet, came back, and Tin Man's a new arrival. And it's like all these guys are really, really working, and we want to keep them active. And for you to say that, you watch this VOD and there wasn't a bad battle is like amazing to me. Like that's worth it, right? It's like, yo, you might not remember what they say, but you remember, you know what? I watched Mac. He was pretty solid. I watched him. He was pretty solid. I watched so-and-so. They were pretty solid. So we want to build on those guys now and continue to give them shine so that maybe they can get, a Saga or an XQZ or whoever the hell file
down the road. Exactly.
100%.
No, it was really great. And so with those guys coming back, are there any other beast mode vets that haven't returned or have been, stepped away for a little bit that you're wanting to see back, that you're like, hopefully this, brings a couple of those guys back?
Absolutely. My friend Luke Newcomb.
Oh my gosh.
My friend Luke Newcomb, man. I would love to see Luke Newcomb back. Obviously someone who had the talent to go kind of wherever he wanted to go and just decided to chill out for a bit, which is completely fine. Like, he has a whole life and a job and completely normal adult stuff to do. Right. Yes. So I would love to have Luke Newcomb back. I think if we could bring him back, it'd be like another beast mode heavy hitter. You know what I mean? That would have in personal. Slow Loris is someone who was also amazingly talented when he was focused. And, he battled guys like Joey, Franchise, and he just kind of just tailed off a little bit, towards the end there, where he just didn't really care about it as much. And he was pursuing other passions, which is also fair. But I think those two guys always in the top of my mind for people I want to bring back. I know Skrillex Cam's on a little bit of a break right now. He's being a dad and, having kids and shit. Maybe he'll pop up another 2 in like a month. I don't know what, but always Zon Nation. And I think, I always, in my heart of hearts, I always want Q to General back.
Yeah.
And he was a great beast mode vet and I battle vet and Lev Corso. So.
Yeah. It's been since Lev lost to Skrilla. He hasn't battled, hey?
Right. Yeah. So he's been
That would be
slipping away.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
yeah, you know, I just want to see Lev back for the beast mode, like, you know, legacy. You know what I mean? That's it, man. I think everybody else is active. You know, we even have this guy named Icon back, who, when I started, very talented guy, very great writer, and he battled MBS on this last card, and he just had these moments of like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
It was great.
Great.
It was both of them did fantastic.
Both of them did amazing. MBS did great too. I it was so funny. MBS, like, he's got talent, right? And
yes,
he looked a little nervous at the event. I don't know if he's just a quiet guy when he's not battling or just a little nervous, but he looked so nervous. And I watched his battle back. Well, you did fantastic. You understand where your hilariousness can come from, what moments to, you know, drop that punchline like in a funny way, right?
Yeah.
I want to see him keep growing. I'm happy, you know, my friends at CRB are doing well with raising some of these new guys, you know, talent wise. So
fantastic, and props to you, Joey, and Wheezy for taking a lot of those CRB guys and giving them a shot on your platform as well.
Definitely. I think, you know, without Joey and Wheezy, none of this would be possible, right? Like, at all. So happy. I'm happy they were down to collab and try to get this event done, because without them, whew, been tough. It would have been tough.
Fact.
Yeah.
So tell me, this is a question. It's a fairly decent one, I think. But tell me your worst experience as a promoter and your best experience as a promoter, and then your worst experience as a battler and your best experience as a battler.
So I think my worst experience as a promoter was having a deposit taken. I think that's probably the number one, right? The fun stuff is, you know, is always fun. So that was a little situation which we don't really know what's going on, but it's okay. You know, weird people do weird things, and you just chalk it up to that. You take your losses, you take your learning lesson. Yeah. Favorite thing, dude, just like everyone's performance on Breakthrough. You know, everyone's performance at Breakthrough, and I just want people to start believing in themselves, man. You know what I mean? And that's what I think was the whole point of this was, you know, like I said, just have our top guys believe that they can hang, man. Like, I've never been so happy with like Emerson Kennedy and Apex. Like, Apex just showing he can hang and showing there's a reason why, you know, he should be on every major platform's radar. Never been so happy, bro. Like, Dysfunctional, man, like, that was insane. I was so stoked. That's so cool. That's so cool, man. Like, Dysfunctional snapping, you know. A1, man, like, just a consistent, like he's almost like a vet, man. He's just so consistent. You just can't rattle his cage anymore. You know what I mean?
It's really great to see with A1 that he's almost at this point in his battling career, found himself.
Yeah.
With what he's great at, and that absolutely insane, almost Bender-like style that he has.
Yeah.
And that he's sort of fine-tuned and created in his own image. It's been pretty impressive to see.
And this is someone who didn't really get a fair shot here because, you know, his original opponent couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like you adjusted your whole, because like A1's a very direct writer as far as like, if he got who he was supposed to battle, he would have had 3 rounds tailored to him.
Yeah.
Right. So for you to switch up that style, short notice, the way he writes now, and do that and still have that performance, like, dude, you carry the league, man. That's amazing. Like, thank you so much. You know what I mean? So yeah, my favorite thing, man, was seeing everybody do well. You know, Dre down his Uncle Buzz was great too.
Yes.
You know, Joey for what Joey had to do this weekend and like still showed up to battle, it's like very honorable. You know what I mean? Like, he had so much on his plate and still showed up, you know, and tried to give the best performance he could. Right. Yeah. That's all I can ask for people. Right. Like, you have hiccups here and there, but as long as you're trying, like, what am I going to say? Right.
Yeah.
So everybody did what they were supposed to do, man. When A1 was in Van, he told me that he got no-show for 6 battles in a row when he started. Yeah, so I was reading Wom's comment. Yeah, dude, it happens, man. I'm telling you, like, you just never – we can't get – you know, I can't control that, and I can't control the weather. You know what I'm saying? So, but, yeah, that was my favorite thing as a promoter. So now then it was worse as battler, favorite as battler, right?
Yes.
From the event or in general?
Just total.
Oh, man. I think the worst thing as a battler is probably – I think I choked against Sly for Life, like, back in the day. Like, that's probably the worst thing. Or G-Show. I think I stumbled against G-Show, and I just never, like, forgave myself.
Oh, man.
You know? Or losing to Machete Trevi. I think also bad. I still, to this day, like, I watched that I love, like, Trevi's cool. Like, me and Trevi are good. but just like, how the fuck, like, what the fuck, man?
With a name like that, you should be dead already.
Yeah, like, you know. Yeah, so I think there's three things. I think so. Losing to Trevi, choking against Sly for Life in like my fourth or fifth battle, and you just don't know what battle rap is still at that point. You're like, oh, I could just like write my third in the morning and then I have the battle in the afternoon. It's fine. Right. So I think Thursday, I think I woke up like Saturday morning and like just try to prep my third. Well, I'll get it. Right. And then I got there. I'm like, oh shit. Like, this is not working, you know? And then I think my stumble versus G Show, I remember the whole weekend, I'm like, you know, I stumbled in my first. Like, I was like, I can't do this. This is crazy. Like, I'm never doing that again. You know?
Yeah.
It just happens. Like, you can't control that. It just happens, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are my three worst. My best, I think, there's a reaction I got versus Flo Colombo. I had some like Operation Bar or something, which is like so super played out now, but looking back at it, it's like phenomenal. And like, I think it was just being on King of the Dot, like World Dom, and it was still GZ, but it was still a big deal to me at the time, right?
Yeah.
And just getting that reaction was phenomenal. I think me versus Shoddy P was one of my favorite moments, and even versus Saga, to say like I battled Saga, like that's so cool. You know, like that's from Smack. That doesn't happen in Toronto. You don't really get that, like, you know what I mean?
The same opportunity.
Yeah, exactly, man. So I think those are my favorite things, and just hopefully keep that momentum going. So I have more favorite things compared to not so favorite things. You know,
as long as the balance is like
right, exactly. I can have a couple bad things every once in a while, but as long as I have some favorite things. But yeah, you know what? Even as a battler, just I think the dysfunctional thing to me was like still top memory. Like like Red Flag. I think Red Flag did amazing. I think he did amazing. Red Flag did amazing, and just dysfunctional, bro. I think me, Wheezy, and Joey. I don't think ever. Well, I don't know if Joey was there, but me and Wheezy were never happier. Like I don't think I've ever been so happy to see someone do well, other than myself. You know,
it's like watching your kid growing up right in front of you.
Yeah. Dude, oh my god, so heartwarming. You know, so we gotta figure out what to do with dysfunctional next, but top moments for sure.
Yeah, no, that's great. Tell me about the face-offs. That's been something that's very prominent with Beastmode lately, and they're getting great views on the channel, like rivaling even the views of the battles themselves, which is great.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was. I think Joey orchestrated that, which turned out to be a great idea. Right, shout out to Joey for that one. I think Joey really pushed for that. And he wanted to do face-offs through the last event with like the bigger names too, which view-wise would have been amazing. But it's like, what am I going to say to like? What is like? Oh, Saga, like you're on Smack. I've been in GZ for 20 years. What am I going to say to this guy? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you need a PG off of PY. Like, what am I going to say? Right?
You could have said, "Don't have a pep in your step bar," and thrown him right off.
There you go. Right? Actually, buddy, I could have iced that conversation from the beginning, but right? But yeah, so Joey really orchestrated the face-offs. He really pushed for that, and it's something that has worked, has really worked. And the great thing is, when you're a battler, I think a lot of people get nervous in front of the camera still, depending on how many battles deep you are and how many years you've been doing it. You're a little nervous when you see the camera, but I think the face-off is great for being in front of the camera. You really just learn how to interact with it. And also, like, you build personality and show your personality. And if you don't have a personality, you're going to make one.
Exactly.
Right? So I think it's been great double whammy for the battlers, because you practice how to be on camera and you learn how to talk.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Is it something that you guys are going to do for every event, or for only certain events, or for only, like, what's the goal there with the face-offs? Is it every time?
I don't want to say it's going to be every time, because I think with like debut events, you don't really I don't want to put Sean through like the craziest shit ever. You know what I mean? Yes. Especially like I think our next card's like 12 battles. Or like 10, 12 battles, the August card. And I don't want Sean having to do 12 face-offs. Yes. You know what I mean? And it's like it's just too much. But I do want to keep it going for our more major events or our more major battles. Right. Yes. So something like Riz Relit and Tycoon Tax was supposed to go down on Breakthrough. Unfortunately, it couldn't happen because Riz got super sick and like couldn't speak, which was like wild, because shout out to Riz Relit. He was also a sponsor for the event too. He helped a lot of battlers get their battles. So totally indebted to him. Great help behind the scenes. He's definitely someone you could ask to help you out, and he'll help you out. But we're doing that battle August. So that's going to be on the card when the card drops, but I'll just give you a little teaser. It will be on the card. So that's a battle we want to do a face-off for, right?
Yes.
The more heavy-hitting battles. The other stuff, let's get these guys get their feet wet for the tryouts and stuff like that, and then, so it won't be every event, but most events.
That makes sense.
Depending on how many batteries Sean has in his battery.
It's up to the GOAT. We'll let him decide.
Up to the GOAT, definitely.
With that, is there anything else about Breakthrough that you wanted to touch on? Maybe something that people haven't been focusing on that you think that they should, or something that you want people to know when they're watching the VOD, that's kind of giving them insight into the event? Anything else you wanted to say about it?
I think, I want to plug the VOD. So guys, go get the VOD if you haven't seen it for Breakthrough yet. I think the biggest thing I want to say is every dollar counts. I think this event, we don't regret spending the amount of money we did. We really don't. I think we got exactly what we wanted out of it for our own guys. But my point is more so about support. So, bring people to your events. If you're a battler, bring a couple people with you. You know what I mean? Even if it's 2 people, that's still, $40 to $60 extra dollars in the pocket of the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it may not, this note isn't exactly about like the quality of the battles, which were all great and will be going forward from Beastmode. And I'm sure a lot of other leagues across wherever the fuck, but just support your league, because a lot of you guys wouldn't get plates anywhere else of that quality going somewhere else. You know what I mean? There's not everybody's willing to spend X amount of thousands and thousands of dollars on your own career, out of money that not every league has enough sponsors to cover the full pocket of events.
Not even close.
Not even close. I don't think we got half we got a great amount of sponsors, and shout out to them. Shout out to Bars Award, Drop D, Wheezy had a couple sponsors as well. Shout out to Riz Relit. A bunch of people help out. Zacklebox, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the contributions were phenomenal, and I appreciate that. But it still doesn't cover the broad range of the dollar figures that we need to make sure everyone's good, everyone's deposits are covered, right? 100%. So we just need support to be at an all-time high, and I want that, for every league and especially in Canada, man. We need to build the scene back up. It's important we all get on the same page and help to do so. If you're a battler, don't ask for your friends to come in free. You know what I mean? Don't do that. You have like 5 to 10 friends that want to come. That's absolutely awesome. You got to pay, man. That's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. That could be a deposit for a big name battle. You know what I'm saying? So we need everyone on the same page, support. Go get that VOD, man. Sean Sirianni, plug it somewhere. I don't know where you are right now, but we just want you to support, because events like that only happen with collaboration from local communities and our staff, right? So
100%.
That's it, man. Yeah. But Breakthrough was awesome. Breakthrough was phenomenal.
It was great. Can't wait to see what Beastmode does next, where you guys are going from here, all the next steps.
We got something for you in October.
That's going to be exciting.
It'll be good.
It's going to be fantastic. Thank you for being on. Again, I do want to say this as well to everyone while we're still here and while we're still on. So last week you got Cope by himself with his guest. Today you got me by myself with Peppe. And so what I need from all of you is to comment on either this live on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, and tell us who you liked better as the host, whether it was me or Cope. And we want to hear it. And by we want to hear it, I mean I only want to hear it if it's me. If you think Cope is better,
absolutely. I vote for you. I vote for you, Pat.
Oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I mean, what else does Cope need? He's getting married, or got married already. So he, is what it is.
Yeah, it's done.
But with that being said, and everything in regard to the Bodycast, that's all for this week. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, join the Discord. The link is in the sidebar. And I'm not going to ask you guys to like and subscribe like I asked you guys to comment who you think is better, me. But, when it comes to the analytics that we do, and by we, I mean not me, but it's obvious that the great people liked and subscribed. Alexander the Great was a fantastic war general who was given the moniker of the Great. He would have liked and subscribed. So if you want to be like, up of that echelon, make sure that you like and subscribe as well. All the cool people already did it. So make sure you do that. And it's not peer pressure. It's just a fact. So thanks again, Peppe, for coming on, talking about Beastmode and everything. It was great to have you, brother.
Thank you for having me, Pat, brother.
No problem. Peace out, everyone.
Take care.